What up on this wonderful Wednesday? This is your boy Capree Classic, and you're listening to the Capree Classic Show, and you tuned in to WGODradio.net, the number one internet radio station in the world.
In the world, Craig.
Yo, first of all, let me get the preliminaries out the way. The weather is nice. It's a little gloomy, but it's warm. I'm able to ride down the street with the windows down. That's all I ever want to do is roll down the windows or open up the sunroof. I ain't open up the sunroof, but I didn't go that far. But I definitely rolled the windows down and enjoyed the breeze. It is the middle of November, and the fact that we can actually roll our windows down is amazing.
In itself.
Yeah, climate control is real. That's what is it. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what
So. So listen, I actually had a plan. I actually prepared for this show yesterday in like 30 minutes. I had a topic.
In a whole 30 minutes.
In a whole 30 minutes. I had a topic. And just to take you behind the scenes, most times I don't know what I'm going to talk about until the day before.
But the day you prepared.
I was actually prepared to do the show. And I had a few notes in here, and then I woke up this morning and I saw a bunch of alerts. And the alerts were saying that it was Miles Dixon's birthday. Today is his birthday.
Yeah.
Now, not only is it his birthday, but he turned a big 5-0 today.
Yes. And I don't feel a day over 49.
So, what I thought I was going to talk about, we might get to it and we might not. But when I saw that it was his birthday, and when I saw the age he was or what he just turned, there's a couple of close friends of mine, and they're turning 50 next year. And so they're excited. One of them is a very consistent friend of the show, my girl Kissy.
Hey, Kissy!
Yeah, that's my baby. She's turning 50 next year too. And, and she got this big old trip, and she every time she thinks about it, she get emotional and it feels like 50 is a year of reflection. Now, to me, it seems like every birthday is a year of reflection to me because I don't really like to celebrate. I don't like to go to dinner and have parties and all of that stuff. I don't really care to do any of that, but I do like to think back over the last year or the last couple of years. It's kind of reflective for me each birthday. But 50 is different. 50 is different.
It's definitely different. Yeah.
And so I think, well, first of all, we're going to interview you for a second just to get your perspective.
I don't mind at all. This is what I do. Go ahead.
That's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I scratched that from the record after this is over with.
It was kissing.
I said something I wasn't supposed to say. I didn't know.
Women age.
I didn't know.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know. I felt like she's mentioned it. Yeah. I guess she didn't. I don't know.
Did. Okay.
I'm sorry. We'll delete this when it's over. So, I think everybody sees birthdays different.
Yes.
Everybody sees birthdays different. I don't like to make a big deal about mine, but I do like to make a big deal of everybody else's. And so seeing what we've come through and what some people are still dealing with, as far as the pandemic and COVID and all of that, life is a lot more, I don't want to say fragile, but I think there's a greater appreciation for life. So being that you only been 50 for a few hours now.
Just a few hours, at least 12. It's been 12 hours.
It's been 12 hours. So you've been 50 for at least 12 hours.
A half a day, yeah.
A half a day. If you could, and I have more detailed questions, but if you could summarize what it felt like when you reached the age 50, were you woke at midnight? if the moment you looked at the clock, and you knew, okay, I made it to 50. What was the initial feeling?
Hell yeah! I mean, excuse me. I was like, heaven, yes, heaven, yes, heaven, yes. No, honestly, I was really thanking God, like, because it was a time where they said nobody over the age, black men wouldn't even live to be 21. And at the 21 mark, I made it 30. I think my best mark was 35, is when I really celebrated. But turning 50 was like, I'm about to be 50.
50.
When I seen the clock, the clock, when I first looked at the clock, it said 11:17. And I was like, hell yeah. I mean, I was like, heaven, yes. And I was like, yes. And then it wasn't even the countdown. It was just 12:07. I just said, thank God. I said, y'all excuse me for a minute. I left, went to my office, and I prayed. And I was just thanking God because I've been through hell.
Yeah.
But I made it, and God always bring us through. I'll be honest with you.
I feel you. So, and I don't know how much of what you want to tell, but for those that are, I was about to say fans of the show. We don't have fans. We have friends. Friends of the show. You have definitely shared a couple of health challenges you had, and that was even before the break that we had.
Most definitely. I could tell my own mind saying that I had a stroke, cancer, and COVID.
A stroke, cancer, and COVID. And COVID. So, for those of you that deal with anything health-wise that has the potential to threaten your life in any kind of way, when you make it through it, I'm not speaking from experience because I haven't experienced anything to where it affected me to the point where I was questioning if I was gonna make it. You know, the doctor said you need to clean up your diet, you need to take this pill, and you should be okay. I'm like, okay, cool. But I have experience with others. You know, my dad, he had 3 strokes.
Ooh.
Kidney failure. He was on dialysis for like 2 years.
Wow.
You know, so
did he have a kidney transplant, or his kidneys came back to function?
They eventually came back to function.
That's dope, man. Give a shout out to that right there.
They eventually came back to function.
Dope.
So for people that has experienced so much health-wise, how do you stay the course and not being fearful of what's going on in your body and still trying to live a normal life as you get older? Because sometimes stuff can happen young and you get over it and you're just like, okay, bet I made it through that.
I bounce back.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like as you get older,
the
your
ball
health
bounce
is
further from the ground.
Yeah.
you like you 20, but like bah, bah, bah. You get 30, like bah, bah, bah. You get 40, you be like bah. I'll be honest with you. I sought help.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm on a food regimen right now because I got kidney disease now, and every time my back could be hurting, I'm like, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Elizabeth, is this the big one, Elizabeth? No. So, but sometimes it's crazy when you get kidney disease. You always think your kidney's going. Every time your back hurt, but it could be you just strained your back. But the truth of the matter is, you definitely just seek help and do the best you can. Eat the best way you can. I just pigged out during breakfast, and I normally just have a handful of berries. I had more than a handful of berries. I had berries, hash browns, eggs, and some waffles. So
yeah, there's some other stuff on this table. I'm not gonna share.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think, first of all, turning 50 is super duper dope.
It is, bro.
To say that you live, half a century?
Half a century.
To live half a century, I think is super dope.
And everything worked.
Everything. Hey, that's a blessing that we don't necessarily talk about all the time.
Yeah, some people walk around with like Mr. Ed. For real. I'm straight. Everything functions.
Everything works.
Thank God, though, for real. By the grace of God, everything works. Everything fully functional. I can see with my glasses, but it's still a good thing.
Right. Now, let me ask this, because somebody that's 50, and for the record, I'm not there yet.
How far are you at?
I'm 40.
You know, yeah.
2.
Okay.
I'm 42.
You know, but it's funny you did that, because there was a time where I did not know how old
I struggle every year.
How old I was, because due to my birth certificate, when I found out my name wasn't even spelled MILES, I was 42 years old. I was about to go to Jamaica, and I needed my passport, so I had to get my birth certificate. My name is spelled MILDS.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Like
mild sauce. So.
What?
So to all my friends, you just call me Black and Miles. You are absolutely correct. You were absolutely correct.
Wait.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then I had the wrong birth date. I had the wrong birthday. One time
was
I
that
thought
a misprint?
It can't be a misprint. It is what it is now. I'm old enough. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, and I thought my birthday was 1972. My birthday 1971.
Wow.
So it's a lot changed. Like damn, I'm older, but dang, my name is wrong. For 42 years, you can't correct me.
You've been living a lie all this time.
Right. So when people are like, you a big old liar, I'm like, well, it was halfway right. Whatever. So yeah.
I think to say you turning 50 is super dope. But let me ask this: from a cultural perspective, how different do you see the world at 50 than you feel like you saw it at other milestones like 18, 21, from a cultural perspective?
Well, 50 is a complete number.
Yeah.
18 ain't a complete number. 21 ain't a, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like if it was a test, all them other numbers didn't even matter. You flunked, right? At least 50, I'm halfway there.
Halfway there to something.
To something.
Right.
But I was told by a mentor of mine, George Frazier, the older you get, the greater you get. He told me something that stuck. He said, intelligence tell you how, and wisdom tell you when. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, some of the greatest people or known people or famous people actually was like 55 and older.
Wow.
You feel me? Like they 55 and older. I mean, you name it. Like, of course, people say Martin Luther King, but I'm talking about like Methuselah. You know, all these people. They were just older, and they came with wisdom. And George Frazier said, when you get 65 years old, you know exactly what you want. It ain't no question about it. You don't say, I don't know.
Right.
And then I don't know if you ever noticed, as the older you get, you say, I don't know less.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just like anything else. But, you know, at this time, we just got to really think about things before we do it. Mm-hmm. And you get more organized as you get older. Like every time somebody tell me something, I say, hold on, let me put it in the calendar.
Bruh, because calendar is a lifesaver.
Exactly,
bro.
And I just set all I set all my alerts for an hour before. So
I got 2. I got an hour and 30 minutes.
Right. Sometimes I do one day before, and I do an hour before the actual meeting.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yep.
So for those that don't know, and if you don't know, I'm not sure what kind of rock you've been up under. But Miles would be considered creative. Yeah. So you do music. You've actually been big in music. Mm-hmm. You did plays, movies, books. Mm-hmm. You do
I engineer.
You do flyers. You're graphic. You do graphic design. Web design. You do logos. Like your hands are full.
Right.
Do you feel the need to kind of be more what's the word I want to look for? More intentional
Yes.
with your creativity as opposed to just
doing it to make money. No, I just had a conversation about somebody with this the other day. My price is going up. Period, because I am doing things more intentionally.
Gotcha.
Everything that I do is a checker. It's not a checkerboard move. It's a chess move. I have to worry about my retirement, my exit out plan.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, do I just want to sit up here and do 5 flyers and make $62 off of them each, or do I just want to go ahead and charge a person $1,200 and it's going to take me approximately 4 days?
Right.
I'd rather do the 4 days.
Right. Right. But do you ever find how often do you hit what a writer would call writer's block? Like, as a creative, because you have so many different avenues where you can express yourself.
Ooh.
Is there ever
that's good? That's a good heavenly question.
Like, do you ever get in a space where it's like,
Yeah. Yes.
I don't see it. You know, it's like, it's in there. Yeah. You just don't see it.
And you know where it normally come from? When you have the wrong people around you.
Ooh.
You have the wrong people around you. That would be blocking your energy. Ooh. And I've learned that as I got older. Like, I ain't talking about turning 50, but in my late 40s, I don't know if you ever noticed. You never see a whole bunch of people around me. Have you ever noticed that? Like, I don't have a lot of people around me. And it's only because me and God talk often. You know what I mean? I mean, it'd be right. Like, I and don't get me wrong, I am David, so I don't walk like a holier than thou life. But I definitely walk with God in mind all the time.
And right.
So,
right.
Even when I do my dirt, I'm like, oh, God help me. So I'm just saying.
Hey, that's facts, though.
I'm being honest with you, like, oh, God help me.
That's facts.
Guide my steps. So the only time my vision or anything become blurry, and once it become blurry, I know I got the wrong people around me too. So it's like an alert.
You know what that.
I'm admiring your iPad. I'm kind of jealous, but go ahead. He had 2 cameras on his iPad. I got one. It's definitely a different model. Go ahead. and look, he be like, "What you doing with it?"
And this not even the newest one.
Wow. He be like, "I'm watching a movie." He be like, "Come on, man." Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I think so. What I was gonna talk, and we still may get into it, but I would probably have to split it up. Nah, I don't know if I want to. Because next week I want to have fun and do some Thanksgiving stuff. Okay. But,
and that's the best drinking day of the year. I mean, drinking spring water.
Spring water?
Spring water is good during that time.
Spring. And I swear I don't know the difference between spring water and
purified water.
Nope.
Me neither, not really.
Nope. But I was going to talk about personal assessments. And talking about, do you like who you are? Or are you okay with who you are?
This is funny. This is funny as all heavenly ways. No, I'm going to tell you, I fell in love with myself October 22nd of this year.
October 22nd
of this year.
Was that an event related awakening?
An event was coming up, and I was practicing what I was going to say. Oh. And I had a timer. Did I tell you about this? So the clock was ticking, right? And I was like, dang, that's my life. Like, I started feeling down. And then as I looked into the mirror, it was like God saying, that's not the time that you have left. That's the time you got to think about that you have to keep going. You feel me?
Gotcha.
Because as I was doing, I still had to keep resetting. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So that was God showing me, like, you got a lot of time left, but you got to know how to handle it. And because mind you, I haven't spoken in over 2.5 years.
Gotcha.
In front of people.
Oh, in front of people.
Right. And so I was nervous, and then honestly, everything when I got to speak, I said nothing I was supposed to.
Hey,
God had to, like, you know how you come in, Cap, sometimes you be like, I don't know how I'm talking about. You be like, there we go. Here's the word of the day, y'all. Turn to Philippians page 29:37, and so when that lady handed me when they handed me the mic, Cap, October 22nd, my whole life changed.
Wow.
I mean, for real, like that quick.
Wow.
And it was like, and
That's dope.
when I got done speaking, I had people waiting in line to talk to me.
Wow.
Because I brought it. When I said, and then when the lady told me she was gonna put me on first, I was like, "Oh, you must gonna have some heavy hitters coming behind me, because you don't really want me to go first."
Right.
I only got 15 minutes, right?
Right.
But when I say I killed it, I didn't think I killed it. So I'm not being cocky. I didn't think I killed it the first 15 minutes, but. Because everybody else on the panel was talking money, mortgages, and real estate, because everybody clapping their hands. But when I got off of the panel and I walked, I didn't have my head down. I still was walking towards the door. One lady stopped me. Then I turned around. There was 4 people waiting to speak to me. I was like,
wow.
And then the other people were like, I want to.
Wow.
So I had like 18 people waiting to talk to me, and I was like, and it was only a room with like 35 people.
That's dope.
So it was so dope, and it made me realize, like, I am a better person than I was yesterday or 4 hours before that happened. So when you said that, that's why I started snickering, like, wow. I started loving myself October 22nd because everything that I was and everything that I am showed up that day.
Do you think, let me go back, because Kissy on here, she said, come on, Miles, you preaching. And she got like 600 or 700 red 100 emojis.
That's what's up.
Do you? And I feel like when it comes to personal assessment, the only thing that makes us different is our experiences.
Ooh, yes, all day.
You know what I'm saying? It's not so much what we feel, how we see, what we think. All of those things are influenced by what we've been through.
True.
But I also feel like we have a tendency to ignore our experiences based on what we think culture wants out of us.
Our bank account. That's true.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big part of it. Because one of the questions that I have listed when you go down the road of personal assessment is, what does money mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Because like money, and you know what? And it's funny because I remember you posted something. This had to be 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I know what you're talking about.
And you asked like, what is the meaning of success or something like that? You know, and
do money define?
Does money define or mean success?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I think money is a common ground of resource for all of us. But so many of us take money and we try to put it in places where it don't apply. And when you try to take a resource and put it in places where it don't apply, you find yourself failing tests that you really, you know what I'm saying? Like you're really not supposed to be taking a test in some areas
at all,
because you're using resources in areas where it shouldn't be.
Right.
And so now you're testing your own intellect. You're testing your own emotional patterns. You're testing your own thought patterns, and you don't even really have to
at all.
So when it comes to personal assessment and who you are and what you are, how do you and I don't want to say interpret, how do you place value on things that's important to you? And it can be anything. It can be money. It can be relationships. It can be family. It can be business.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what when you talk about when I posted
Callahan, Pastor, what's going on, sir?
when you talked about that question I posed, that to answer your question, it's success. And success is not what most people think it is. People think success is money. Success is the moment you have completion of something. You feel me? That's success. The definition of success is the minute you set a goal, you make that goal happen. That's success. Feel me? So that's another thing. So for the rest of my life, I definitely will be one of those people who challenge people to understand the definition of words. Like people don't know what genius mean. People don't know what masterful mean. They're taken in context for whatever they want to use it for, but we really don't know the definition of these words that we be speaking. So when you said that part, someone posted up on my page, Walt Catchins III. He said, "You are one of them brothers I'll be proud to say I know. You did your task with excellence and met the goals that you set. You helped a lot of people along the way." That part right there.
Wow.
You helped a lot of people along the way. He said, and I am one of them.
That's dope.
So those are the things.
That's dope.
Those would be my assessments when I'd be happy to say I know Melissa Talbot, Nathan Talbot, Tanja. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we are people who have been through something, and without a reasonable doubt, they have taught me too. They taught me how to be a better me. But the truth of the matter is, when you say assess, I assess myself by the people who I helped.
That's dope.
To put in the one sentence, I assess people by the people I helped. I assess myself by the people that I helped.
That's dope. I think, me personally, I think our greatest successes are being able to apply lessons learned through experience. And it doesn't necessarily has to come with a reward.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I think whenever you're able to go through something or experience something and you learn from it,
Right.
like some of our greatest successes is what we failed at.
Ooh, lessons learned.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. I agree with that.
Now, a lot of people
So I'm gonna cut
wouldn't
you off.
agree with that.
But when you say so, but a person still have to accept the fact that they did fail at it, and they learn from it. Other than just taking the L, it has to be a lesson learned, right? Okay.
Because to me, it only becomes a true failure if you don't get anything out of it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't get nothing out of it,
Then you fail.
Then you fail.
Yeah, right. That's an L.
That's a L.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're able to take, because a failure is really nothing but a bad experience. You know what I'm saying?
Good way to look at it.
That's all. It's just a bad experience. So if you don't learn from that bad experience, then you fail.
True.
Because you're supposed to take those experiences, learn from it, and apply it in the next situation or the next opportunity you have. If you don't, then that's when you fail.
I agree. Okay. I totally agree with that. So that's definitely another way of looking at success as well. So success, because success is not just one thing. Success is is different components of other things that come down to you still finishing your goal.
But to your point, which was probably the point of the post, success has always been defined by monetary value. You know what I'm saying? And for no, I was gonna go gender specific, but there's really no need to do that.
You mean that was a TLBGQ?
No. It was just gender, like male, female, because now the roles has flipped and
honestly, we need to talk about that. I don't think the roles flipped.
well, the roles didn't. No.
I don't think the roles flipped.
The roles didn't flip. We dropped the ball. That's what happened. The role. He's playing the clapping track. The roles did not flip.
Right.
Men dropped the ball in our responsibility to take care and provide for our family. Now, is it all of us? No. There are some systems and some things that's set up
for us not to
succeed and not to. But a lot of us gave into those systems.
So I'm glad. So if anybody can hear the tone of my voice, I'm telling you right now, what he just hit is the hammer on the nail. Because I told people in my speech on October 22nd, right? I said, start using your vowels. Your A, learn how to be accountable for your actions.
Right.
Right? E, always work in excellence. Right? I, work with integrity.
Yes.
With the right intentions. It's A-E-I-O-O. O is for opportunity. O, I've been drinking water. Anyway, birthday water. So in the O, create opportunities for others. You feel me? You unify all your resources so you can become the source. And why? Because it's yours.
Yeah.
Everything in life, if you don't see that it's yours, you always give it up for somebody else who don't deserve it. You feel me?
Gotcha.
So
that's dope.
Thank you.
Shannon, what's up, sugar?
Hey, sugar baby.
Hey, my sister Carla. She said success is when you are thriving in life, not just surviving. I like that.
I like that. Not
necessarily financially, but when you are living your life, fulfilling your purpose.
There you go.
Yes.
And see, I don't know if you notice, Cap, but every time we be around, that word purpose be popping up, don't it?
Yeah, it do.
Purpose is probably one of the most powerful words that us as a people can really.
But I think purpose is powerful, but I don't think people really understand it.
No, they don't.
They don't understand it.
No, they don't, because like I said, we was talking about the reason why I did the whole success thing. Somebody said money. I said, so Martin Luther King wasn't successful. Gandhi wasn't successful. Everybody who we worship the most was the poorest. Jesus was the poorest. If you just want to just go there, Jesus was not a man of riches.
He didn't. No, he always had access to it,
right?
But he didn't lead with it,
right? Because he didn't have to.
Yeah, he had access to it, but he didn't lead with it.
Jesus had swag. That's
which is why right. Most of the richest people in the world you don't know.
No, right?
You don't know. They don't dress like it. They don't talk like it. They don't drive in it.
Warren Buffett.
You don't know.
He drives a 1997 Cadillac, and he don't have a chauffeur.
We get
he don't wear Armani suits.
Kissy said you should post that.
Post which
the
one?
vowels.
Oh, most definitely.
She said you should post that. Yeah, that is dope.
Those are that's the most. I tell people quickly. What's the I keep messing up. I be like continents. It's constant. It's constant.
Constant. Yeah.
Constant. Whatever. I tell people quit speaking like that, because the most powerful words is vowels. They have action. You know what I mean? And we don't really use them. And so when you start thinking about things like A's, there's so many words in A, like awesome. You know what I mean? Accountability. Action. So these are really strong words that most of us do not use. We use I want the dough. Give me that cash. Yeah, I'm working for the bag. When you compare money and you want to say a vowel, let's talk about that envelope.
Right.
Let's talk about that envelope.
Right.
Ice Cube say, damn that bag. Give me an envelope.
Give me the envelope. Yeah. So I think, going back to that, I think people misconstrue what purpose is. And in its simplest form, purpose is the why to what you do. but a lot of times the why don't get you the recognition that you're looking for.
Ooh.
That's why. The why is what's important.
Yeah.
People think what you do is the important part. No, it's not the what you do, it's the why you're doing it.
Why you doing that?
And that's why purpose falls through the crack, because a lot of times people aren't living in their purpose because their purpose might not be what gets them attention.
Purpose is probably the most staggering word. When you say, okay, what's your purpose? They be like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. More people say they don't know their purpose, and it's crazy. I have a couple of friends of mine that say, listen, once you know your genius, learn to be masterful. Because everyone who is born has a genius. Everybody. And then once you learn to be masterful with your genius, Proverbs 18:16 shoots into place so hard. Your gift will make room.
Your gift will make room.
And I tell anybody,
If
like,
your attitude right.
huh?
If your attitude is right.
Yeah. But how about this? You can have a bad attitude, be a boxer. Because, I mean.
If you're good, but you got to be good at it.
But you gotta be good at it. It gotta be
you
your
gonna
gift.
get the crap knocked out of you.
But sometimes the only person I think if Mike Tyson would have been beat up twice in the beginning of his career, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he would have took some L's before he became Iron Mike Tyson, I think he would have adjusted. He would have been. Well, he never got adjusted.
Right.
You feel me? He was the adjuster. But if his behind would have got adjusted beforehand,
right.
I think he probably would have been the best boxer ever the world have ever seen, as far as his attitude, his technique, and his purpose. Because he ain't found his purpose till later. He's like, I let y'all have money just because, you know, maybe it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Because so I can show y'all, like, look, take somebody like me. I lost $40 million in less than a year, and I'm still here. I'm still rich. I'm still wealthy. But the most important thing to me now is my mind.
Yep. But I think a lot of times people want their passion and their purpose to align.
Yeah, but they get
and sometimes your passion can be based off of intake.
That's what I'm about to say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you might just see something enough and build a passion for it.
I'm about to say the passion has a lot to do with your heart, and in the Bible it says something about your heart being confused.
Wicked.
So your passion
deceitful. It's deceitful and wicked.
To match your passion and your purpose up together, that's very hard. I mean,
wait. We gonna have to. I need to put that in my notes. We need to talk about the heart.
I mean, I'm telling you,
it's wicked.
It's wicked. Your heart is
tricky.
wicked. It's tricky as hell because I tell anybody. Somebody say, "Well, Miles, how you say that?" I said, "Listen, have you ever had a heart murmur and they told you was gonna die within a year after you was born, but you 42 now?"
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, you never heard nobody say you got a brain defect and you still walking around. You know what I mean? But you got to have a heart defect, you know what I mean, and be fully functional.
Right.
You can have congestive heart failure and still be living, right? You can't have congestive brain and be walking around. So yes, the heart is wicked. The heart has the ability to trick you. We was talking about women have.
But see,
I was just saying, like, women.
We don't got time. We ain't got time for what I'm about to say.
I was just saying, a woman's heart has the ability to mold and shape hate or love inside of her womb, make her baby look like her best friend.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead. I gotta hear it.
I'm gonna say this.
I know it's gonna be something
because and I'm not saying that
don't get in trouble.
And I feel like I probably will, but that's what we do. That's what we do. I'm not saying that I disagree with the Bible.
Right.
I totally agree that yes, the heart is wicked, the heart is deceitful, and it has its way of making you feel certain things. But what I think we don't talk about is the heart in and of itself can only receive.
Ooh, yeah.
It cannot produce anything.
I totally agree. I
You
think
know what I'm saying?
We force produce what we think coming from the heart, and our heart is only a receiver.
We feed it.
Right.
We feed our heart lies and deception
All the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
And then we have people that say, well, just follow your heart.
Yeah.
Well, no. Do you really want to do that?
To me, so when you say that'd be like what the devil did in Devil's Advocate. Remember? Did you see Devil's Advocate? When he said,
I can't say I have.
he said, I asked you, do you want to stay? And you said no. My wife will be okay. He said, because you was feeling that way, your heart. There's something about your heart. So it makes a lot of sense. Because our heart is a big receiver.
It's a receiver.
Yeah. Don't transmit
receiver.
nothing.
What it does is it acts as a filter between intellect and emotion.
Ooh. Those who shouldn't even be in the same room.
Wait. I'm not even sure.
That shouldn't even be in the same room.
I'm not even sure where that came from.
But no, you.
But it does. It filters
I totally
the
agree.
information,
Right.
and it turns it into an emotion.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And a lot of times we act based on how our heart feels because that's the emotion that's produced by the information that it got.
And then when you have an emotional intellect, you have what you call Columbine, and with us, the other school they were shooting up.
Yeah.
That's what produced when intellect and emotion is placed in the same room at the same time.
Yeah.
Because emotion, I hate when people say, well, I feel like you said it this way. No, I said it how I meant it.
You heard
it
that way.
That your heart,
But you heard it based on how you were feeling already.
Exactly. So that's why when people say I felt or I feel, I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
And that's the thing, especially when it comes to communication, a lot of times we hear stuff based on how we feel and not what's actually being said.
There you go.
And sometimes there are some times where it can be said wrong and you want to process it the way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But there are some times where the communicator isn't doing a good job. But more times than not, you're listening or you're reading based on how you feel, especially when it comes to text messages.
Totally agree.
Because there is no tone to it.
Hey, did you see Key and Peele scene when they said, I looked her straight in the eye and I said, you know something? I'm gonna show you. And that was a key thing about how you receive things from an emotional standpoint, and then how you receive things if you see or you felt like somebody feel a particular way. So I'm gonna let you see that.
Kizzy said, "Come on and preach, Minister Miles." Preach, Mr. Dixon. Carla said, "The heart gives out what it takes in."
I don't believe that one. I can't agree with that one.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same thing as the heart. It can only receive. Yeah,
but you still have. God gave us all discernment to tell the truth about. First, you got to understand.
But that's not heart induced.
No, but I'm saying is when you will know when the person's speaking from how they truly feel, not just by the heart, but I mean, we all have children.
Okay,
we have children.
So you're saying what comes from the heart reaches the heart?
Yeah, and that's it. It don't really go no further than that, unless it becomes.
Sometimes that's why we have such reactions.
Yeah,
because if evil is coming out of your heart, then pretty much You about to get an evil response.
Right,
because-
but that don't mean evil was brought to you.
No, it wasn't.
That's my point. It don't mean that evil was brought to you. And a lot of times we don't even know when evil was brought to us. We be like, the devil did it. The devil is busy. The devil ain't busy doing nothing. That's you. Nobody be accountable for nothing.
Oh yeah, he get blamed for a lot.
I mean, y'all give him more credit than y'all give God.
He get blamed for a whole lot.
I know God be like, y'all gonna get that up to him too. Really? He wasn't even there. He not even omnipresent.
Right.
I mean,
and he don't know what you say.
Right. And I tell people, if you show me somewhere in the Bible where the devil killed anybody, hello.
Where the devil killed anybody? No.
The devil never killed no one in the Bible. No one, you know what I mean? It's like, I seen the devil with a blade. It wasn't, it never.
You know what's,
So when people be saying that, I be thinking it's crazy. Go ahead, Cap. Hey, Cap got me, Cap trying to get me fat too, y'all. I'm just going to put this in his screen.
Oh, we got.
He bought these dang going heavenly cupcakes. And
I'm gonna eat a couple on the way out.
I'm gonna eat
I
a
ain't
couple.
supposed to have them, but
Me neither, but I'm gonna eat the hell out of them. I'm gonna eat the heaven out of them.
I think it's funny because we are our worst enemy.
All the time.
We are our worst enemy.
That's why accountability is important.
And we put it on the enemy because we don't want to own
Up to our stuff.
up to our.
Somebody said, the enemy busy. I said, what did you do? They're like, what you mean? I said, the enemy not busy. That's
Not for the church people.
oh Lord.
Not for the church people.
Hold on.
I
Go ahead.
for the church people, I do understand that there are times and there are circumstances where God allows the enemy to bring certain temptations to you. I get that.
But
I totally get it. But again, listen,
Linda.
temptation was never designed for you to fail.
Exactly.
The enemy wants you to fail, but that's not the purpose of temptation. Because if you're tempted, that is your opportunity to not only prove to yourself, but prove to the God that you say you serve
The Lord upstairs.
what's more important,
Right.
what you want or what he wants. Because temptation is only going to reflect your desire.
Hold on, say that. Now you got me writing again. Temptation was only.
Temptation only reflects your desire.
Praise God.
You're never tempted by something you don't want.
That's so true. Like this wild turkey bourbon. Right there. That was temptation. And if I wasn't tempted to
Is
drink
it safe to say you failed?
Well, I ain't failed because all of it's not gone.
It's not all gone.
If it was all
There's
gone.
time for redemption.
Time for redemption. I repent at this bourbon crossroad right here. Anyway.
So I totally get, the enemy. Now let's be clear, the enemy does have certain powers.
Yes.
He doesn't have all power.
No.
He has certain powers.
Hold on.
But
They be like, I read in the scripture where he's the king of this world. I said, well, why y'all living in it?
he has what's the word?
Dominion.
Dominion.
Yes, dominion.
But
You don't have control.
Dominion control. It doesn't. But there's a scripture in the Bible that also says that greater is he that's in us. He don't see. Here's the problem, and I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Okay.
A lot of times we fail different tests and different temptations because the enemy doesn't always show up looking like the enemy.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
This show looking like your brother.
He show up and not necessarily our brother. Sometimes he just show up looking like it belongs in that space. So like when Eve was in the garden, and the serpent came up to her and he said, you know, you're not gonna eat of the fruit of this tree. And she was like, no, we're not supposed to. She didn't look at the snake like he was the enemy, because he belonged in the garden.
Yeah, but he's supposed to talk. I'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on, snake, you can talk.
everything in the garden talk. Through their language.
But the question is, and this is what I told people. Do you think the devil was the serpent?
But the devil, no.
Exactly.
No, the devil wasn't the serpent.
Right.
But the issue was he came to tempt her, but he tempted her in a place where he belonged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we miss it and we fail because we're falling for temptation in places where the temptation belongs.
Ooh. Yeah, got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
The temptation belongs in that area.
like, so if I go to a bar,
We don't.
like if I go to a bar and the lady's like, "You want a drink?" I'm like, if I look at it like I'm crazy, she look at me like I'm crazy because you're in a bar.
Yeah. So it's like it's like you can go out to a bar. You married, you can go out to a bar. It's not that you don't belong in the bar.
Right.
But having a single-mindedness in the bar is not where that belongs when you're in the midst of other single people that's trying to.
When you marry.
So physically, it's okay to go to a bar.
Right.
But if you have a mind of being separated from
Your wife
or your marriage, that doesn't belong.
Gotcha.
So it's easy to be tempted by what's actually, because they're single, so they don't care.
Right.
They don't know. So they belong in that setting. It's okay for you to be in that setting, but not with that mentality. And that's where we fall.
Pastor Edwards.
That's where we fall. Our emotions and our mentality and our mindsets causes us to fail.
Ooh.
Because the temptations belong in that space, but the mindset don't.
I got one question for you then, and then you can close us out.
Mm-hmm.
So is the heart connected to your mentality?
Again, it's connected,
Right.
but it only filters.
Gotcha. Okay.
The heart only filters.
So do you believe our mentality is what feeds our emotions?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why the Bible says to guard your eye gates, guard your ear gates, guard your, you know what I'm saying? Everything that intakes has an ability to influence what comes out of you.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why the Bible talks about the battlefield of the mind.
Mm.
If it don't come in, there's no way to process it for it to come out. So we got to be careful
Makes
of what
sense
we watch and what we see and what we listen to and what we smell and
That's
what
why
we.
it's not good to have the TV on while you sleep.
No, unless it's something, edifying.
All right then. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I don't know if we did the personal assessment. I feel like we kind of did, but we
Yeah, we
didn't. But next week we gonna have fun.
Yep.
So we appreciate everybody that watched, that commented. Carla, Kissy, Sugar was on here.
Sugar.
My big bro Callahan was on here for a minute.
Is Tyrone Callahan?
No, Larry Callahan.
Okay. Oh boy, he got a show on Sundays too. He got a show at Event Radio, Callahan. Okay.
No, but this Callahan, he's the one that he has the choir that did the commercials with Eminem.
Okay.
And he was on America's Got Talent. They got real fire.
Man,
Yeah.
Congratulations, that was
They
dope.
do. So we appreciate everybody that watched. Thanks for the comments. Again, today is Miles' birthday. He turned 50.
50.
We getting ready to get out of here because he getting ready to go party for real.
No, I'm being. I got some more wild turkey. I got some turkey to cut into. Thanks again, Capree, for acknowledging me, brother. You're
For sure.
a great brother.
We'll officially say happy birthday. For those of you, that came in late, yesterday is his birthday. He turned the big 50, and this is a big deal because he has been through a lot.
Yes.
Physically. And let me say, because I do believe this is around the time you lost your mom.
Oh, yeah. I lost my mother November 14th.
November 14th. And then your birthday is like
November
2 days later.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is like, yay. And then it's like,
Yeah.
But any birthday that you're able to celebrate is a big deal. But
Yes,
50 is definitely a milestone. Especially in today's, because people don't live as long as they used to. At all. So 50 is a big deal. My girl Kissy, she turns 50 next year. My girl Dawn, she turns 50 next year. So I think it's dope.
Did you supposed to say that?
I got it. Yeah. She okay with me saying she turned 50. I'm not. I don't know if she
Don't worry about
had an issue with
don't worry about
some other stuff I said. Okay. But we will see you all next week, same time, same place. We're going to have a fun show. We're going to talk about everything Thanksgiving. Yo, Carla says she turns 60 next week.
Yay!
Dope. That's my girl. She's dope. Great singer, great person. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Until next week, be good. If you're not going to be good, be careful. Peace.